Hey, so how are you today? So I got a lot of great information as downloads. Um, this is about returning home. You've been meeting your mirror self. It's been kind of painful because when you see yourself, it is not a reflection that you recognize. The person you started off as a kid, this full of wonder of what home means to you might be coming up. I think it is. Um, you're breaking out of this projection because when you look at yourself, you don't see someone that you want to see. You see what the world thinks you should be. You got the Nine of Wands, and this is kind of seeing where you want to go. This is home, like this is your origin story. This is where the fire lives, the intensity that you're getting, this really intense energy. Um, and this also is a 3 and a 6, which is a 9. So this energy, you can see it, you can feel it, and it's kind of like there's something in the way, this wall, and you're battering up against it. It's rough. It's wanting to reach your homeland, your destination, where you feel like you belong, is hitting up against the rocks. And so you're realizing this isn't working. Like in his hand, in the Judgment card here, he actually has that medical staff. And so he's going in, and you're like calling judgment on who you've been, the binds that have been placed around you. This isn't working. Like you can see where you want to go, you can see where you're meant to be, but you can't get there because there's all this stuff in the way. There's all this turbulence. There's these rocks, these boulders, and so you're going within, and you're coming at this in a different way. Like, okay, if you're not where you wanted to be, like if you had great plans to do something in your life and you didn't get there, hey, we all get older and we realize, we look back and there's more days, behind us than there were ahead. But if we look at it with more like childlike wonder, if we look at ourselves, if we really look within, we can find that place. We can find the way to the homeland that we want to be in. Palm trees came up, Silverfish, and the Page of Cups, and the Chariot. So, like I'm saying here, this is like using force instead of introspecting. So needing to have a childlike way of dealing with this stuff. The palm tree is about flexibility. You can have huge storms. That's why palm trees are in very tropical storm locations, and they very rarely snap because they just bend and move. And silverfish have been coming up, and this is about growth, change, the emotional healing, which can be so painful. I'm having a lot of weird physical symptoms that I don't normally have, and so that might be coming up. You might be like, why am I in so much pain? It's because you're doing a lot of work internally. It's bringing up a lot of stuff that you're not used to dealing with. But you got the Queen of Swords in dealing with this, and the greater plan. So these are very similar energies, and the fact that they're, you're accepting, you're letting go of your ideals about your plan. The divine has your perfect plan. It might seem like you're so far away, like you're like so far away from where you really want to be, and the divine is saying, no, stop trying to force this. Accept, be flexible like the palm tree. See this as a time of growth, and growth can be extremely painful. That's coming up. You're also getting the Chariot and the Wheel of Fortune. This is coming in, and your fortune will change very quickly. Sometimes when we experience all that pain and we just go with it instead of fighting it, we can actually relax. This water shows me like when I grew up near the ocean, and sometimes, it always scared me because of the power of the ocean, but I also was so drawn to it. And so this is about relaxing. Like if the current pulls you and it's turning you around and you can't see which way is up, relaxing into it, not fighting against it, kind of just going limp and letting the current pull you. And then when you're not facing resistance, going back and trying. So that is hard to do though. But I really do think that the less we are resisting our change and being more flexible within it, the more we will, go with the tide. And I bet, like, when this ship stops fighting, it turns into like when you're driving in the rain and you hit a patch of water. If you turn into it, which is so counter what we would think, instead of fighting it, you can actually slow the spin out. So kind of going against what your instinct is to push and pull, instead, focus that internally, having this state of calm, like remembering, because these are very similar energies, remembering that you have that state of calm, meditating, grounding yourself, and also remembering that the pain you're feeling is so that you can feel all your feelings more intensely. Oops, my palm tree fell over with my koalas on it. And that also means your sexual energy. When we are not willing to express ourselves in this very fiery way, we also we're resisting. We're resisting our animal nature. We're resisting our true course in life, and that can make things very tense. Yeah, you're with the Eight of Swords here. You're kind of stuck. You're like torturing yourself because you're staying in this mindset of being closed off, of being like, well, I am not being who I authentically want to be. I'm not being this idealized version of myself. You may be being really hard on yourself about seeing people in a positive light when they didn't deserve it. Maybe they were just better in relation to other people around you, but they still weren't great. So you kind of set your bar so low that now you're like, oh geez, I'm so far above my bar, and the people around me, even the ones I'm saying are really lovely, are actually not, in comparison to what your ideals are. And that's okay to have ideals. Like, if you wanted to be an Olympian, you would have to have really high standards for your working out and your nutrition and your sleep and stuff like that. You got the Six of Pentacles, and this is about giving charity, giving help. So kind of like that karma. As much as you give out, you get back in. You've always lived like that, thinking you will, but you've been giving to a lot of people that didn't deserve it. They were like, yes, give me all of that. And they were never giving back to you. So it's okay to, move away from that energy. And so that might be this tension you're feeling. So let's see, what else? Okay. Ace of Pentacles. You've been getting this a lot. The divine is trying to give you an opportunity, an idea, but you have to change the way you're thinking about things. This isn't going to come in if you're still focused on and having these relationships with people, having this idealized state. Is it really yours, or is it someone else's in your environment? So let's see. And the Six of Cups. So this is your second six. And this is about returning to childhood memories. So go back to the blueprint, go back to the basics, really start from there. It doesn't matter how old you are, really starting from childlike wonder. That's really going to help you. And yeah, see? Okay, and then you got the Empress and the Two of Pentacles. So the Empress is really earth energy. That's, like I said, it's getting back to basics. Who are you? Do you have some maternal wounds? Do you have some base wounds? And how are you going to balance that energy? So we're going to have to go to part 2. So join me for that. I hope to see you there.